On one level, this book is a cold case investigation into the 1964 murder of Dr. Mary Sherman in New Orleans. A murder which remains unsolved and is remembered as one of the most mysterious ever committed in a city that has known so much mystery and so many murders. But there is more to this story than murder and mystery. Understanding the death of this one woman unravels much of our nation's secret history. And that's from the beginning of Dr. Mary's Monkey, which has a huge subtitle here. How the Unsolved Murder of a Doctor, a Secret Laboratory in New Orleans, and Cancer-Causing Monkey Viruses are linked to Lee Harvey Oswald, the JFK assassination, and emerging global epidemics, by Edward T. Haslam. Very, very good book. Very good book. Anyway, the subject of, by the way, welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. The subject of this video is going to be the G20. I plan to attend, I plan to be present at the G20 when it is here in Pittsburgh on Thursday and Friday of this week. I'm not planning on engaging in any civil disobedience, and I'm not going to be part of any groups unless I happen to just come across some people that I have a like-mindedness with. Instead, I'm going to pass out literature, because I think a lot of people who are planning to attend with the idea of just fucking protesting. And yeah, it's fine and dandy to say, get fucking bent, G20. It's fine and dandy to say, we're not going to put up with your shit anymore, and we don't want you to tell us what to do with our financial situation here in the United States and in all the other countries in the world. But instead, it's more important, I think, to have concrete plans for what you want to change. You ask probably 75% of the people who go to protest the G20 what it is that you're protesting, and I guarantee you they can't give you a really good answer. Okay? I know there are groups and there are people who have specific plans and what they want to do, but I think it's extremely important to have a positive approach to this. To tell people to take action to change the fucking things that you don't like. So to that end, I came up with this flyer, which I'm going to make copies of, and I'm going to pass it out. So I'll just go over the main points with you so you know where I stand, and if you agree with me and or you're going to the G20, maybe we can, maybe we'll see each other there. So the title is Don't Just Protest, Demand Action. 1. All policies that originate with the G20 are aimed at helping financial institutions, banks, and insurance companies. That's a little oversimplified, but still true. 2. The economic collapse that the world has experienced has been a direct result of financial speculation by banks and financial institutions. 3. The entities that have caused our economic woes have been rewarded with bailouts and have had their risk underwritten by the taxpayers. 4. Economic policy has left people defenseless and at the mercy of corporations and banks. 5. We are now being told that the recession is over, even though unemployment hovers around 10% nationally, officially. Unofficially, it has been estimated as high as 25%. Number 6. Wall Street needs to be made to pay their fair share with a Tobin tax on all Wall Street financial transactions, including derivatives. A 1% Tobin tax will generate revenue to allow for funding of vital programs like Medicare, Social Security, and beleaguered states in the short term, and in the long term will discourage rampant speculation into dubious ventures like credit default swaps and derivatives, which still loom large as potential economic calamities. Number 7. Our elected officials are supposed to represent us, the people. Let us demand that these officials hold the banks and other corporations which have caused the problem accountable for their actions and not work for the highest bidder. Number 8. Let us demand that the Senate not reconfirm Ben Bernanke to Federal Reserve Chairman, and that they remove Timothy Geithner from his office, because both have been tools of Wall Street and especially Goldman Sachs. Number 9. Let us demand that presidential appointments to key positions be reviewed so that people like John Holdren are removed from their positions for holding extreme views, and prevent future appointees who hold such extreme positions from taking office in the first place. Number 10. Let us demand a rejection of cap and trade, because it will damage the United States' ability to compete in production and lead to energy rationing, and instead call for new energy production, including solar, wind, nuclear, natural gas, oil, and clean coal. 11. Let us demand a rejection of health care reform which mandates coverage under private, for-profit insurance companies, and instead demand single-payer health care for all. 12. Let us demand that the Federal Reserve be audited. 13. Let us demand infrastructure rehabilitation and reject the selling or leasing of our highways and other public works like water plants to private business. 14. Let us demand a moratorium on home foreclosures for at least 1 year. 15. Let us demand the dismantling of NAFTA and other so-called free trade agreements which take jobs to other countries. Free trade is not possible when countries have absolute advantages, and they are reckless because they suppress wages and the rights of workers everywhere. Contact your senators, representatives, and the president and demand that your voice be heard on these important issues. That'll be what I'll be handing out. Now, I'm not going to say I'm definitely going to be able to do this, because you never know what's going to happen. It's several days away. Anything could come up to prevent me from being able to fulfill that goal, but that's my plan. Hand out the flyer, get people interested in actually having some change rather than just protesting. Thank you. Good night.